the news to me and my brother. We were told that my mother was killed. My heart broke into pieces at that very moment. And being told that you killed my mom, that was heartbreaking. I was at a loss of words. I was in shock, but all I could do was cry and be angry because I knew I was never going to see my mom again.
Jason Van Dyke tonight has been a free man for almost 24 hours. He was released from the downstate Taylorville Correctional Center shortly after the clock struck midnight.
In a world where trust is paramount, there exists a shadowy underbelly that shatters the very foundations of justice. Welcome to a chilling expose that will leave you questioning those sworn to protect and serve. The badge is a symbol of honor and trust. But what happens when that badge becomes a shield for corruption and brutality? What happens when those sworn to uphold the law break it in the most heinous of ways? Juan David Ortiz. Juan David Ortiz, a U.S. Border Patrol supervisory agent, was found guilty of capital murder, marking the end of one of the most chilling murder sagas in South Texas history. For 12 days in 2018, Ortiz picked up women on Laredo's streets, drove them to remote corners of the county, and ended their lives with close-range gunshots to the head. Ortiz's victims were Melissa Ramirez, 29, Claudine Ann Luera, 42, Guizelda Alicia Cantu, 35, and Janelle Ortiz, 28. All four women were known to be sex workers who struggled with drug addiction. These women were picked up by Ortiz on San Bernardo Avenue in Laredo, which is a section frequented by drug dealers and prostitutes. One by one, he drove them out to remote stretches of the county and shot them with his government-issued .40 caliber handgun, leaving their bodies slumped on dirt roads or under overpasses. Dramatic moments throughout the trial included a doctor who raced off the witness stand to tend to a juror who was fainting, and a phone call from the jailhouse that revealed more information about the defendant. Ortiz's defense lawyer contended that his client was experiencing symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and that the multiple medications he was taking were causing him problems. Ortiz was automatically sentenced to life in prison without parole. The 40-year-old is serving his sentence at the W.F. Ramsey unit. Jason Van Dyke. The tragic incident that occurred in Chicago streets on October 20, 2014, had far-reaching effects on the country. Laquan McDonald, a 17-year-old African-American, was shot and killed by Chicago police officer Jason Van Dyke. The initial police report painted a picture of McDonald behaving erratically, refusing to put down a knife, and lunging at officers. This narrative, however, was shattered when a dashcam video of the incident was released to the public, revealing a different story. The video showed McDonald walking away from the police when he was shot 16 times by Officer Van Dyke. After the video was kept secret for more than a year, its release provoked protests and harsh criticism. The city reached a settlement with McDonald's family for $5 million in April 2015. On November 24, 2015, the same day the video was released, Van Dyke was charged with first-degree murder. After a trial that lasted from September 17 to October 5, 2018, Van Dyke was found guilty of second-degree murder and 16 counts of aggravated battery with a firearm. He was sentenced to 6 years and 9 months in prison. The case of Laquan McDonald is more than just a story of a tragic shooting. It's a tale of a city grappling with issues of police brutality, systemic racism, and the struggle for justice. Geronimo Yanez. On the evening of July 6, 2016, a routine traffic stop in Falcon Heights, Minnesota, escalated into a tragic event that would send shockwaves around the world. The incident involved Philando Castile, a 32-year-old African-American man, and Officer Geronimo Yanez of the St. Anthony Police Department. Philando Castile, a respected school cafeteria supervisor, was driving with his girlfriend Diamond Reynolds and her 4-year-old daughter when he was pulled over by Officer Yanez. The reason for the stop was a broken tail light. During the interaction, Castile informed Officer Yanez that he was carrying a firearm, for which he was licensed. What transpired next was a rapid and fatal escalation. Officer Yanez instructed Castile not to reach for the weapon. Despite Castile and Reynolds both insisting that he was not reaching for the gun, Officer Yanez fired 7 close-range shots at Castile, hitting him 5 times. Castile tragically succumbed to his wounds 20 minutes later at Hennepin County Medical Center. The aftermath of the shooting was live-streamed on Facebook by Reynolds, bringing immediate international attention to the incident. The video showed a calm and polite encounter that escalated quickly, sparking widespread outrage. In the months following the incident, Officer Yanez was charged with second-degree manslaughter and 2 counts of dangerous discharge of a firearm. Roy Oliver. On the fateful night of April 29, 2017, in the quiet suburb of Balch Springs, Texas, a celebration turned into a tragedy that would shake the nation. The central figure of this tragic event was 15-year-old Jordan Edwards, a promising student and beloved member of his community. The evening began with a house party attended by around 100 people, including Jordan and his friends. The local police were called to the scene due to reports of underage drinking. Among the responding officers was Roy Oliver, a 6-year veteran of the Balch Springs Police Department. As the police arrived, they heard what they believed to be gunshots, causing panic among the partygoers and prompting many to flee. Amidst the chaos, Jordan and his friends decided to leave the party. They piled into a car, with Jordan in the front passenger seat. Officer Oliver came up to the car, carrying a modern carbine MC-5 rifle. Oliver fired 3 rounds into the car, hitting Jordan in the back of the head, even though the vehicle had moved away from the officers. After being taken to a nearby hospital, Jordan was declared dead. The police initially claimed that the vehicle was backing up toward the officers in an aggressive manner. However, upon reviewing the bodycam footage, it was revealed that the car was actually driving away from the officers. Justice demands and public outcry followed this revelation. Officer Oliver lost his job with the police department following the shooting. Later, he was accused of murder and 2 counts of firing a firearm dangerously. Timothy Lohman. On a fateful day, November 22, 2014, at around 3:30 p.m., the peacefulness of the Cudell Recreation Center in Cleveland, Ohio, was shattered. A 911 call had been made about a kid with a pistol pointing a weapon at people. The caller twice mentioned that the gun was probably fake, and the person wielding it was likely a juvenile. However, these crucial details were not relayed to the responding officers, Timothy Lohman and Frank Garmbach. As the police cruiser skidded to a halt at the scene, a mere 1.5 to 2 seconds passed before shots were fired. The individual at the center of the incident was Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old African-American boy. Tamir had been playing with a pellet gun, which unfortunately lacked the orange-tipped barrel that would have indicated it was a toy. Lohman, the officer who fired the fatal shot, claimed that they had yelled, "Show me your hands," through the open patrol car window. Instead of showing his hands, it appeared to Lohman as if Rice was trying to draw the gun. Tragically, Tamir was shot in the torso and succumbed to his injuries the following day. The incident sparked widespread outrage and protests, becoming one of the high-profile cases that gave rise to the Black Lives Matter movement. Despite the public outcry, a grand jury in December 2015 declined to indict the officers. The U.S. Justice Department also announced that it would not bring federal criminal charges, citing the poor quality of the video footage of the shooting. In a twist of irony, Lohman was later dismissed from the force in 2017, not for the shooting, but for lying on his job application form. The city of Cleveland agreed to pay $6 million to Rice's family in 2016. These accounts do not represent singular events. These belong to an unsettling pattern of wrongdoing and abuse that has afflicted law enforcement organizations everywhere. Some officers have committed horrifying crimes, ranging from fabricating evidence to unjustified shootings. The lack of accountability that frequently follows, though, is even more horrifying. Make sure to like and subscribe for more informational videos. Until next time.